Here's what you need to know about the local real estate market in this week's Market Update. Now, I've been seeing a great deal of success from my buyers and my sellers in this very challenging to navigate and competitive real estate market. Now, what do I attribute that success to? Well, not only do I have a great knowledge of not only the local inventory, but the mechanics of the real estate deal and what constitutes a good deal, both on the buy and the sell side. But on top of that, not only knowing the mechanics of a good deal is two very important things: planning and preparation. I see that extremely lacking with a lot of buyers and sellers right now, and I tell you, it makes the world of difference. I have seen a surprising trend. In the past, years ago, before the market became this much of a seller's market, I carved out a little bit of a niche of what we call expired listings, homes that were on the market, did not sell within the contracted period with that realtor, and then I would come in as the second realtor to represent that seller, and had a great deal of success in selling those homes. Well, fast forward, 5 years later, where we have a seller's market, I'm seeing a huge uptick in buyers coming to me that have been working with a different realtor for quite some time, and said that they weren't having any success looking for a change in their representation. And what I was always surprised at, both on the sell and the buy side in these situations, is on either side, when we initially start working together, we sit down and have a conversation, whether it be in person or over the phone, to really talk about, all right, well, before we even get started, let's talk about some basic concepts that you need to understand to make effective decisions. Because ultimately, I am here to help guide you as my client. I'm not here to make your decisions for you. I'm not here to tell you what you should do. I'm here to advise you of what is working in the market for someone in a similar position, whatever it might be to yours, and to help you to understand and feel comfortable with what those situations look like. So when those situations actually do arise, they are not only not a surprise to you, but you are able to make a quick decision. Making a quick decision is extremely important, and these are big decisions. Big decisions that I don't expect people to make on the drop of the hat. However, quick decision making is very important in this market on the buy and the sell side. And how do you make a big, very important, complex decision quickly? Well, you don't make it quickly. There are many, in fact, a majority of the aspects of these deals that are predictable, that you can expect to encounter, and you should be prepared before getting started to be able to understand these concepts. Most of these things you have already come to terms with and accounted for, so there are typically only very few things that you really need to decide on, because the other decisions you have made well ahead of time. In some of these concepts, I get buyers coming to me right now saying, oh yeah, my other realtor mentioned that. I don't feel comfortable doing that. And it's not me sitting there saying, well, too bad you have to. In some cases, it's, yes, they were not wrong in saying that you should offer this or offer that. I understand how it might sound crazy and irresponsible for you to do that. But oftentimes, even when their realtor has explained what they should be doing, they have not explained helped them to understand what that truly means. One of the big things that I see with buyers now is, oh, my other realtor wanted me to waive my appraisal. I'm not doing that. That's crazy. Well, yes, that might seem crazy. They were not wrong in advising that. That really is a strong piece in getting your offer accepted. However, did they map out different models of what that could look like? If you're looking at a certain price range, so you really have a good idea of what those financials are going to look like. Did they map out a specific scenario of what the worst case scenario looks like? You might not be comfortable with that worst case scenario, but have you seen that worst case scenario? Do you know what that means to you? What does that look like on a monthly basis? What are you out of pocket? Oftentimes, when I have buyers or sellers that come across a term of an agreement that they are not comfortable with. More times than not, it's that they are not opposed to it. They have just not fully understood that and are not ready to agree to it because they have not fully understood that. But once they do get a strong understanding of that, they are like, oh, that's not a big deal. If that's what I got to do to get the house, or if that's what I got to do to get my house sold, that's not a big deal at all. No problem. But we really need to make these decisions and understand these concepts up front, because to expect you to fully grasp these concepts and make a quick decision within a matter of sometimes 24 hours is just insane, and that piece is irresponsible. So let's get into the stats this week and see what the market's looking like. One of the reasons we do this is so we can help prepare for the upcoming weeks and months with our buyers and sellers. So total homes coming on the market this past week, we saw 10 homes come in the market. One of those homes was in town and 9 of those were in township. 6 of those were single family homes and 4 of those were condos or townhouses. Average list price of these homes was $672,000. Total inventory. This is one of the big numbers that we've been closely monitoring. Total inventory is down slightly from last week, but overall I see it as an up. Total inventory active homes are 36 homes actively on the market. Now, why do I see that as a positive, even though they are down ever so slightly from last week? Well, because we went from the low 30s 2 weeks ago to the high 30s, and previous to that we were in the 20s. So 36 is not a huge change. The fact that we are still in the high 30s gives me optimism that we are hopefully on the increase, and I would really hope, it'd be nice to see if by the end of the month or two that we can see those numbers in the 40s. That would be really promising for the real estate market as a whole. Homes sold this past week. We saw 6 homes sell this past week. Average list price of these homes was $728,000. Average sale price of these homes was $730,000. So this past week, homes sold for an average of 1.1% above the list price. And average days on market for those homes were 51 days. I did close a few deals last week. Those deals were ones that I put together in January. So keep in mind the current market conditions still are not yet showing up in the stats. I'm expecting that sale to list price ratio to increase and those days on market to decrease. So as we track those in the coming weeks, that's what I'm predicting, and I strongly feel that we're going to see that come to fruition. Under contract, we saw 10 homes go under contract this past week. Average list price of those homes was $672,000. Median days on market for those homes was 13 days. So as we get further and further into spring, I strongly encourage you, everybody out there, whether you are currently currently looking to buy or sell, thinking about doing so in the near future, or don't have any plans to do so for quite some time, get in touch with me. Like I said, preparation and planning. Whether you are looking to buy a home within the next month, we need to be talking about preparing for that before you start going out and looking at houses. And if you think you might want to move in 5 to 10 years, it's understanding what it is about that time frame, why you've chosen that time frame, what those conditions are. I moved in the summer of 2020 completely on a whim, but that stemmed from a conversation of, I think we need to upsize at some point, probably 5 or 10 years from now, and this is why. And the reason that time frame ended up getting moved up significantly may have seemed impulsive to some of my close friends and family, but really it was, well, these are the parameters that would have prompted that move that we anticipated 5 or 10 years from now. But as we more closely evaluated it showed us that those conditions really existed more in the shorter term. So everybody out there, whether you are looking to buy or sell in the short term or the long term, I strongly encourage you to reach out to me through either a DM, a text message, a phone call, whatever it might be, and let's have a conversation about your home ownership plans. Have a great weekend. I'll catch you guys soon.